I'm Steve House for Alpine Mentors, and the principle of this episode is fail well. Fail well to me means remembering the outcome of your climb isn't important beyond the impact it has on you and your character, who you become because of that struggle. For a long time, I had an annual climbing trip with my friend Barry Blanchard and originally with Joe Josephson. We called it the annual attempt and failure to climb Mount Robson. I think there were 8 or 9 annual attempts and failures. Every one of those years, we had a great time. The process and the rewards of alpinism were great, despite the fact that we never climbed Mount Robson until many years later. Eventually, when I did climb Mount Robson, I had a lot of information about how to do it, and it all came together really fast, and it went off really smoothly, and it was a really great climb. Failing on alpine climbs is part of alpine climbing. Seems obvious to say, but what I think we need to remember is that bailing off of climbs is a skill, and it's something that you get better at with practice. A lot goes into bailing well. It's often stressful, so you got to be good at it. Once you have learned how to bail off of routes well, it's very empowering because you actually feel less out there. You're halfway up a route and you're like, I can get down from here. It will give you a lot of confidence to try harder things. In my opinion, the single most difficult part of failing is knowing when to fail, knowing when to turn around. There's no science to that. That's an art. And it's an art based on experience and intuition is a feeling you have based on accumulated experience. You have to err on the conservative side, because you err on the aggressive side, you end up taking chances you're not aware of. I believe that thinking of your climbing as a practice that lasts for a lifetime, for a career, relieves a lot of pressure. It's a great tool for surviving long term in the mountains. Failing well requires that you maintain situational awareness on the way up. You have to know where you've been and where you are on the mountain. If you're rappelling, that's going to be important. It can also be important if you're doing a mountaineering route and you're on a big glacier and the clouds just came in, now you're in a whiteout. Did you keep a GPS track? Can you follow it back? When you're rappelling, one of the things that I think about a lot, especially because I'm usually rappelling in bad weather, is I'm very careful about where I put my anchors and where I put my rappel stations in terms of the overhead hazard. Where you get hurt rappelling in the mountains, at least, is getting swept off or getting hit by something that comes from above, or your hand that's holding the rappel rope, suddenly your arm gets broken. So I want to go from island of safety to island of safety. I want to really make sure I put my anchors in places where I'm protected, my partner's protected while we're doing the transitions, while we're pulling the ropes, because that's where we're spending the most time. Statistics show that most climbing accidents happen on the descent. I believe this is partially due to the fact that we're tired, we start descending, we feel we can let our guard down a little bit. Watch your partner and don't let each other do that. One of the big reasons that you can't make mistakes is because, for example, when you're rappelling, you're completely committed. You have all your weight on that anchor and all your weight on your rappel. If that rappel fails for whatever reason, you're dead. There's zero room for error, so you have to be vigilant and really be on top of yourself to stay awake mentally and physically and pay attention and be sharp on the way down. I like to take the descent in blocks, have one person lead the descent for a while so that the other person can rest and also pay attention to the other things that are going on the mountain. I think it's also important to remember not hurrying so you don't waste time, being efficient by being smooth and consistent and not by sprinting. And it's also important to remember to pay attention to your partner. This is a critical time and you have to stay focused during the descent and not make any mistakes. Success of an alpinist to me is dying of old age in your bed, surrounded by loved ones. Success on a climb is just going up and making good decisions and coming back. That's the outcome that we should be attached to. To me, that's what fail well means. This is Steve House for Alpine Mentors. We have been talking about the principle of failing well. Please join the conversation in the comments below, engage with us on the Alpine Mentors Facebook page, or email us at climb@alpinementors.org. Thanks for watching.